Good morning, everyone, and thank you for coming. We're here today because we want to lift up the name of my daughter, Brittany Patrice Glover. Brittany came to Atlanta for work. She was run down on September 19th by a reckless driver, still unknown. And so we're here to plead to not only the community, but the legislators as well, because there has been no sense of urgency whatsoever. And so we're making a plea for urgency, for something to be done. She was hit on Donald Lee Hollowell Parkway and Finley Avenue. And so two things that I do know, that my daughter is dead and the person who killed her is still free. And it's important because it gives that person an opportunity to kill again. And we don't want that to happen. We know that in the state of Georgia, that it is number 8 in pedestrian fatalities. Atlanta is, I'm not sure the number right now, but it has increased 23% over the last year, and that's unacceptable. There is no reason why laws have not been changed. Pedestrians are being killed more in black communities than anywhere else, and somebody needs to do something about that. Brittany came here looking for an opportunity, and that was taken. And so what I said to someone is, I gave her life. In Atlanta, you took it. And so it's your responsibility to step up and to help me solve this problem, to help reduce pedestrian fatalities, because we know that it's preventable. We know that we won't eliminate every pedestrian death, but we can do something to slow it down. And so I'm asking you, if you've seen something, to say something. It could be as simple as your neighbor, somebody you live next to, whether it's an apartment, a house, a housing community, or the dorm, that you've seen a car that used to be there that is not there, or a car that is damaged. Every detail is important, because we don't have anything, and for it to be one full year and we still don't have any details about what happened to my daughter, it is a shame. And it is on the citizens of Atlanta, the state of Georgia, to take responsibility for Brittany's life. Brittany, as I said, the first time I came to City Council, well, she is not a Jane Doe. And you guys need to realize, the people that's standing behind me, my family and my friends, it's not just Brittany, it's other people as well. I stand here wearing 2 ribbons for my daughter, Brittany Patrice Glover and Quenisha Lachey Ball. Brittany was killed in September, and Quenisha's life was taken November 17th. Today is Quenisha's birthday, and this is Quenisha's mother, Courtney. And so I just want to introduce Courtney to you guys as well, because it's not just Brittany, it's a whole big picture of pedestrians who have lost their lives carelessly. And so, Courtney, if you just want to say something, please.
I want to thank everybody, and I want to thank Valerie for reaching a hand out for me to come here today. I was coming today to give my daughter a visual, because today her life was taken at 6:53 a.m. The person that killed my daughter, he's actually free. They didn't give him a citation, they didn't give him anything, and I'm demanding for his arrest. He ran my baby over, left her to die. And the DeKalb County Police told me and my children that he stayed on the scene, and my daughter was not in a crosswalk. See, this city tends to blame the pedestrians without no evidence of that. So I didn't believe that. I trusted in Quenisha, because I raised her to be a responsible young lady. And that's what she was, because her job was looking for her, because she was a responsible young lady. She would not put herself in danger. She was settling here in Atlanta to buy a house. This became her home within a year. And he took that all away from my child. And the DeKalb County just let my daughter lay in that street. No urgency to save her life. He never called 911. Can I repeat that again? He never called 911. And that is Georgia's law. You are to stop and stay and call 911. And the DeKalb County Police knew he didn't do that. They knew he didn't do that, and they let him go. They let him get back in his car and go free, while we were called and told that Quenisha everything was her fault.
And so just think, if that was your loved one. We're here to put a face on those pedestrians. Our daughters meant something. Their lives that were valuable to us. And so my analogy, thank you God, is how many people out here have cell phones? Just show of hands. And you think about the range of emotions you go through when you misplace that cell phone or you lose it. That cell phone is your life.
Amen.
Now equate that to our daughters. Those girls were our lives, and they're gone. And nobody's being held accountable for it. And so we're asking you humbly and boldly, as we know how, to please provide the support that we need. We can't do it without you. We are doing this by ourselves. And I just want to thank Councilwoman Keisha Waits, Byron Amos, because it was in his district, for supporting us, and the rest of the city council people who stepped up and came on board to support us, to say that yes, Brittany Patrice Glover, her life mattered. Quenisha Ball, her life mattered. And that's all we're saying. They meant something. Those lives mattered to us, if nobody else. And for us to come here and y'all say, well, your daughter is dead, and go home, it's unacceptable. And we cannot continue to operate in this way. Not only today, but in the days to come.
Yes, I agree with that. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Good morning. My name is Councilmember Keisha Waits. I stand before you representing the Atlanta City Council and the mayor of our great city. Brittany's mother has already eloquently articulated why we're here today. But we're also here today to offer words of support and a proclamation to this family. As you know, Brittany was killed on September 19th. Her mother already stated that she was here to start a wonderful job with Spirit Airlines as a flight attendant. That opportunity is now gone. Her mother also indicated that we want you to think about your son, your daughter, your father, your mother, whomever your loved one is. So when you think about this conversation, think about this person never coming back home. If you've seen something, if you saw something that day, even if you're not sure, please reach out to the Atlanta Police Department. Myself and my colleagues were offering a $10,000 reward. No, that will not bring Brittany back. Her life is invaluable. But nonetheless, for someone who may know something, it may be a motivating factor. So on today, whereas the Atlanta City Council remembers the life and legacy of Brittany Patrice Glover. Brittany was born on March 15th of 1989. She was born in Illinois to a Miss Valerie Handy Carey and to the late Mark Glover. Brittany attended the Columbus and Groveport, Ohio Public School. Brittany also attended at HBCU, Wilberforce University in Wilberforce, Ohio, before studying communications. After college, Brittany worked in the corporate private sector before following her entrepreneurial spirit and becoming the founder of Oh Crap, It's Vegan. Brittany loved to travel and wanted to see the world, so she pursued a career as a flight attendant. She completed her training and graduated on August 29th of 2022. As a new flight attendant for Spirit Airlines, she transitioned here to our city, Atlanta, Georgia. This is where Brittany chose to make her home. Brittany tragically lost her life on September 19th at the corner of Donald Lee Hollowell and Finley Avenue to a reckless driver due to a hit-and-run incident. Today we honor Brittany Glover and her memory. We stand with her mother, Valerie Handy Carey, who founded Walk This Way, the Brittany Patrice Glover Foundation. This is an advocacy, pedestrian safety and awareness for the month of September of 2023. Their mission includes, but is not limited to, reducing pedestrian fatalities, safety awareness, and supporting those families that have been impacted by vehicle violence of any kind. Again, today we stand with this family. We ask you, if you've seen anything, if you know anything, please reach out to the Atlanta Police Department. Miss Handy will be in town. She traveled here from Ohio to be with us on today, and she will continue to stand with us. Again, there's a $10,000 reward that's been raised by members of the Atlanta City Council, and we will continue to stand with this family until justice is found. Thank you.
We'll open it up for questions now.
We have one more.
Hi, I'm the aunt of Brittany Glover. My name is Kimberly Handy Jones. And me and my sister have been traveling here, her from Ohio and me from Chicago, since the death of my niece, September 19, 2022. And you know, you hear it all the time. Does it have to happen to you for it to matter to you? But it will matter to you if it happens to you. My niece's life was taken by a reckless driver, and somebody knows something. And like my sister said, somebody needs to say something. There's a void not only in our hearts, there's a void in our home, in our family. Her brother, her only brother, is missing his sister. God gave my sister 2 kids, the love of her life. She adored her daughter. She adores her son. I know what that's like because I lost my son on my niece Brittany's birthday. If you know something, say something. Free yourself. Because if it don't come out in the wash, it will in the rinse. And we're giving you an opportunity to come forth and do the right thing. And for all the city officials that have stepped up to the plate and is helping my sister, I'm ever so grateful for you. And if there's any out there that is not, please, we just don't want you all to be doing the work for the income. We need the outcome. We need to find Brittany Glover's killer and Quenisha Ball's killer. Thank you.
Take questions now?
Do you all feel like there's been enough done to prevent other people from being in the same shoes as your loved ones?
No, there's, as I tried to articulate earlier, there's been complacency, not urgency. And the reason why I say that is because pedestrian injuries and fatalities have gone up every year. Just within from 2021 to 22, it was 23%. And that says to me, somebody is not reading the traffic reports, those people who make the decisions. And it impacts Black and brown communities when it comes to the engineering design. And so the community needs to be aware of that they can say no, that they can put a stop to that they can minimize that. And so I wish more could be done.
I agree. Are you guys spearheading any efforts for pedestrian safety in the council that include this reward increase?
Yes, thank you for asking. So one of the requests that Ms. Handy gave to members of the council and to others is for us to change the speed limit on Donnelly Hollowell from 35 to 25, which is a state road. We will be going over to the state capitol, working with members to do that, given that it's a state road, and sending an urging resolution. The second thing that she's requested is extra cameras and lighting, and we're also raising funds to do that in that particular corridor. It is a fast-moving highway, and so those are some things that we can actually get done here at the local level, and so those efforts are currently underway. The challenge, however, is that this is a larger problem because in Atlanta, we're not a pedestrian-friendly community, and we don't slow down in those areas. And so it is my hope to join Ms. Handy, the family, and other legislators throughout the city and state to change engineering designs in communities where we've had these types of challenges. And so we have not done enough. In fact, we've failed in many ways. But I look forward to joining this effort. We haven't always gotten it right, but I think there's an opportunity now, and I'm asking that the city to join us. I'm asking the mayor's office to join us, as well as our state elected officials to join us in raising awareness and funding so that we can change these challenges.
Why do you think Black and brown communities are so especially susceptible to accidents and tragedies like this one?
Well, the squeaky wheel gets the oil, and unfortunately in many of those communities there is a challenge when it comes to lighting. There's a challenge when it comes to additional installed cameras, and there is a disparity, and we see that throughout the city of Atlanta. It is our hope to start to change that paradigm. If you go over to Donnelly Hollowell, you've seen that expansion. That's one of the last areas which is so close to downtown that we've seen the expansion in the additional lanes. So we're moving in the right direction. We haven't done enough, and we haven't done it fast enough.
And to add to that, I would say it's the perceived value of the people in the community. Because the things we value, we take care of. And when you look around those other communities, they don't have them. They don't even consider it. but Black and brown communities are the first to be impacted because they don't value those communities, and we need to raise the value on the people that support these constituents that's in office.
But they value the black dollars. They value the black dollars. The black dollars matter. They value those. But I say, what is paper over flesh?
And that has been part of the challenge with the pedestrian fatalities. The people in position to make decisions value profit over people, and that needs to change. It's because it's the people who put those other decision makers in office. And so again, it goes back to the value of those communities.
I agree to that. Quenisha, and then another thing is because I think it's a separation too, because Quenisha's in DeKalb County, this is city. We need to learn to work together on this big issue. It shouldn't
Because
be this county and county. It's the state of Georgia, and a lot of pedestrians are getting killed. So we have to come together as a whole. It can't be separate because it's not going to work that way. My daughter, she lived in DeKalb County in a nice area. There's no way she shouldn't have been able to put her shoes on that morning and get to Emory to make a living. She should have been able to do that. The Emory shuttle came across 7 lanes of highway. That don't even make no sense. You know, and when I'm calling Emory, can we fix that? Can we get it at a safer place? Because there's going to be another Quenisha. There's going to be another Quenisha that lives in those condos that has to cross that highway to get on that shuttle. She might die. Why is that? We can't do that. We can't do that. And you know, they're working on getting things together. But did that satisfy me? No. That doesn't bring my daughter back. It shouldn't have took Quenisha's death to get the things they needed to have there. Because when you go out in these rich neighborhoods or these nicer communities, you don't have that problem. You don't have that. Because everybody can afford a car, or they just don't, you know, they're not ready to drive. And that was my daughter. She wasn't ready to drive. She was learning, actually, here in Atlanta. She was learning. She was learning, and he took all that away from her. Right now, he's getting promoted. Where my daughter was trying to get promoted. He's getting promoted in Pepsi and everything while he killed my daughter. We got to do better. It takes us, the people. I'm literally traveling from Pittsburgh, no sleep, because of my daughter's death date, me and my children, to come speak, to get some change. And if I got to do that every month, I'm going to do that. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere because my daughter's life mattered just like everybody else's daughter mattered here in Brittany's. And y'all gonna know Quenisha's name, and y'all gonna know Brittany's name. I'm sorry to say that, and that is the truth. My daughter mattered. So did Brittany, so did Neil, and so many more that died. And that I was told that the first question I asked him, the police officer, I said, is there any pedestrian groups out here? He told me no. So now you're lying? Now you're lying to the community. Somebody got to be held accountable for that.
Real quick, can you fill us in on the background behind Quenisha?
Quenisha, she's from Quenisha's from Pittsburgh. She lived there all her life, and in 2021 she decided. She called me and said, "Mom, I'm moving. I want to go to Atlanta and I want to start a bigger career." So I drove her out here in August 2021. She excelled. She was already an independent woman, but when she got here, because she was among her peers, she stepped in that and she soared. She soared. She had so much going for her. Like she was going to buy a house, get ready to get a car, learn how to drive. She stepped into her womanhood. She said when she turned 31 on September 22, she said, "I'm ready for my next chapter." That's what she said. And he ended that. He ended a beautiful woman's life. But guess what? I carried it and I picked it up on my shoulders because I'm her voice now. I'm stepping in her shoes to carry her legacy on. Because her life on this earth for 31 years meant a lot. And I'm not going to let him take that away from her. I'm here to stand in her shoes.
What ended up happening to the driver?
Oh, he went home. They sent him on home.
No charges?
No charges. He ran my baby down. When I tell you, I didn't believe what these officers were telling me. We are supposed to trust what the police is telling us. If I was just listen to them, they told me my baby, it was only him and that baby. So my baby. So I said, oh, okay. At least he was holding her hand. Did you drug test him? Did you give him alcohol? No, we can't do that. I said, why not? Because he was on his way to work. Well, so was my daughter. So that wasn't good enough for me. That didn't make sense to me. So you know what? I demanded the body cam. And you know what the body cam showed me? He did not stay. a woman, 2 other people was getting ready to run my baby over again because he did not stay. They jumped out the car. The lady gave CPR. Now they told me nobody was there with my daughter. But there was a lady that jumped out her car that did CPR to try to save my baby's life. And you didn't think that was important to tell me? And there was another man that called 911. He never did any of that. Someone needs to be accountable. The driver, I'm talking about the DeKalb County Police, the EMT that had my daughter dead. They told my daughter was dead maybe about 15 times on a body cam. They said she was split open like a potato. They joked about her body. They didn't even identify my baby. My baby was a Jane Doe. Why? Why is that? She had an Emery sweater on. All you had to do was look at her sweater and call her job, and they would have said, you know what they would have said? We're looking for her. Because they were. Because they were used to her being on time. She would call off in a year and a half she was there. They were looking for her. So they need to be held accountable just as well as the driver. Because he should have been arrested on scene. He did not stay. And that CPR, you know the lady, what they did with the CPR when they came there? They told her, go home. They didn't even get her name. The person that called 911, they told him, go home. So they just left me just thinking I was just going to accept what they told me. But I knew my daughter. I knew my daughter was responsible, and I'm glad I knew that. Where I looked and Googled other scenes, and that's how I found Valerie speaking about her daughter, Brittany. That's why we're staying here today, because we don't need no more Brittany's and Quinishas or Johns. We don't need that. No parent should go through that. Nobody. Yeah, Nils. We got somebody just got killed over here, and they had to bury their, they had to cremate their child and carry them in a urn all the way back to Australia. And they got cameras that he ran a red light. What did that make sense? And he was going to Georgia Tech. That don't even make sense.
And so that circles back to your question about what needs to be done. There's stories on top of stories on top of stories, or tragedies, I should say, because they're more than just stories, because they're tragedies. And you have to think about the ripple effect of taking one life. You know, it may not have meant anything to anybody out here, but look at all these people standing behind me who Quenisha and Brittany has impacted, or who love them. The ripple effect. That when I walk past a room and I don't hear Mom, or when I have to wear her pin just for somebody to acknowledge, who are you, Brittany? And I can tell Brittany's story. No, I'm not Brittany, but Brittany was my daughter. But you don't think about every impact the person who was connected to that loved one. Nobody talks about that. That you don't get any sleep, but you are expected to continue and function as normal. Because we do have lives, we have to live, we have to work, in addition to fighting for justice. So that's the impact that it makes on an individual family. So if there's any other questions or...
Good. Yeah, close this out. Just want to thank all of you guys for coming out today. Without your presence today, no one would know the stories of these families that have been impacted. There's a lot of guilt and shame possibly associated to this situation. If you are the perceived perpetrator, figure out a way to come forward, to talk to this mother, even if it was an accident. If you know something, please reach out to the Atlanta Police Department. Let's get off of our phones. I'm very guilty of that as well. Let's not be distracted. Let's do the right thing. Driving is a privilege in Atlanta. We can easily end someone's life. So let's do the right thing and step up. There is a $10,000 reward for information surrounding the death of Brittany Glover. Her mother is here. The families are here. For Quenisha, please join us and help us. Thank you so much.